What's up, witches? It's your girl KFB from Magic and Mayhem with KFB and Medusa. This is my first solo video, so glad you guys could join. Glad you guys like us so much that we felt confident enough to do our own solo videos as well as our joint videos. As you can see, we're in my bedroom. I'm about to go to sleep. I'm actually fighting my melatonin pill that I just took. So we're gonna make it quick. Our first upload, we talked about a certain person in our lives that we considered to be an emotional vampire. We nicknamed her Shannon. This video is gonna be short, it's gonna be sweet, and it's gonna be about being patient and patience in your work and how it's so important because I want to say probably September of last year that Shannon did me really, really wrong. And, my first instinct as a human was to exact my revenge straight away. I was going to confront her. I was going to, could have gotten physical, whatever. But I decided not to after a lot of deliberation. I do have 2 kids that can't really, be in jail as much as I would love a vacation. Jail's just not that vacation. I'd rather be on a beach or in the mountains or something, So, this past weekend, actually, I want to say early Sunday morning, I heard through the grapevine that, Shannon was not doing very well. In fact, she's living her worst life. And, it shouldn't have made me feel good, but it kind of did. So we're going to talk about that. Patience in your spell work is very, very important because I know a lot of people expect results right away, but sometimes it might not be the right time. Sometimes your people, your ancestors and stuff might think, you need a little bit more time to cool off and figure out if this is really what you want to do before they go ahead and give you the green light to do it. I want to say probably 2 months after she did what she did to me is when I decided that I was going to, take the necessary steps into removing her from my life, of course, because, she sucked all of my energy from me, and I wasn't really good to anybody, let alone myself, not being full of my good energy. I stayed in bed for a lot of days, and, I have kids, so that wasn't really fair to them either. It ruined my relationship almost. I didn't see how much of a part she had become of my relationship. She was always call me if I hadn't talked to her in a few days and ask me, oh, how are you and so, what's up? Are you guys fighting? Are you guys having any problems? Blah, blah. It was like she was feeding on my trials and tribulations in my relationship, and it took her, really wronging me for me to actually realize that, because I didn't want to believe that my friend, would do something like that to me, but she did, and we're not friends anymore. But anyway, so 2 months after, our big fallout and whatever, I decided that it was time for me to really step up and do something about it. I was just really unsettled in my heart and my soul, my spirit, whatever. So, I did a little bit of, I don't want to say meditation because I'm not really good at meditation. It's something I have to work on. But I did like a little bit of, soul searching, and, I waited for answers. And then I just, instead of feeling really uneasy, in which I usually felt when her as a topic would be brought up, I felt really calm and like I was headed in the right direction. So I put her in a jar. And she's been in my jar since December, in my freezer. They say for a really good jar spell to work is that when you completely forget about it, like you forget that it's even in your house, that's when it really starts to work. And honestly, I had forgotten about it for a while until this past weekend. Then I heard the news and I was like, oh, well, time to disperse of my jar. So yeah, about that. I live in an apartment complex, so I can't really bury stuff here, it's kind of illegal. So I have to think of a proper way to disperse of the ingredients in the jar without, like harming the environment or whatever. Like I don't want to let it like loose in water because there's like, vinegar and stuff in it. I don't want to like pollute stuff. But yeah, my jar pretty much ran its course, did what it had to do. She's, not living her best life. And, for a while I wasn't either because I was so hurt by what she did and how it could be me that she did it too when I basically, like gave her somewhere to stay for free. I supported her in all things that she wanted to do. I shared with her personal stories about my life. I shared with her, progress I made in my work, which I hold really dear to my heart. So it's not even like I wasn't upset that like she said what she said or how she came at me or even the fact that she robbed me. I wasn't even upset about that. I was upset at the fact that I shared with you parts of my life that I don't really share with a lot of people. And you took advantage of that and then, you just became this whole different person, which I guess when somebody shows you that side of them, that's who they truly are. Don't think, you know, it was just a moment in time where, something happened and that came out. Like, no, that's who that person is. And it's really hard to decipher red flags when you're wearing rose colored glasses. So I suggest that everybody just takes their glasses off, sees people for who they are, accepts them, and does what they, do you want them in your life? Do you not want them in your life? Whatever the case may be. I am not known for making friends very easily because the friends that I have had in the past, I'm sure, when you have a fallout with somebody, you blame them, you point fingers at them, and it was all them, you did nothing wrong. I'm sure I had a part in a lot of the friendships that dissolved over my, my teenage years and my young adulthood. But, you have to take people with a grain of salt and you have to take them for what they are. And if they start to exhibit those signs of being, toxic, I hate that word, but toxic or, just no good, you should make a mental note of that and then, continue to log their progress or continue to log their, emotions, characteristics, stuff like that, because, it'll start to pan out for itself and then you're not really as hurt when the fallout happens. Like I said, I've had a lot of friendships like when I was younger that I thought would last for a really long time. And, my longest friendship I had was, I don't know, 15, 16 years and it went right down the drain, after we both had kids and, whatever, marriages happened and, they're influenced by other people. So, things happen and you have to really just accept it and move on because I'm not the type of person that wants to be friends with everybody because I don't need a big circle. It's all about quality rather than quantity. And so you'll see, me and Dusa, we come on the channel and we hang out and we drink or whatever. But she is like, she's like an aunt to my children. Granted, we've only been friends for probably coming up on 3 years, maybe 3.5 years. But, we bonded very, very quickly. And that's very hard for me to do. And I'm sure it's very hard for her to do as well. We both suffer from a lot of, social anxieties and whatever. We always feel like people don't get us, but like we get each other, and that's why we vibe and we get along really well. And as you can see in like our videos, like it's not forced between me and her. But like I could probably count less than one hand how many friends I honestly hold dear to my heart, and I consider them a friend, and I would do anything for them. And they would do the same for me. And that's very important in friendships and when you're creating them because you want somebody who rides for you the way you ride for them. You don't want to be the only person, putting effort into your friendship or any relationship at that point. Like it's always a two-way street. It's never, it shouldn't always just fall on the one person. And I'm really, really lucky to have the select few that I allow into my personal life, and I allow them to see me vulnerable, and I allow them to see my emotions, and they don't judge me for it. And I feel really, really lucky for that, I guess, because I've always kind of felt judged. I can't really say if I've always been judged because I don't know other people, but I just feel like I've always felt that way. and they don't do that. You know, like my little coven that we got going on, we're not like that. Like, you know, somebody could tell me that they're tired of their man and they're fucking done and they're over it and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, all right, do you? Like, you know, I'll support you no matter what. And then 2 days later, they're back together with said person. I'm not going to be like, well, what the fuck? You know, like, you were just, no, I'm like, you happy? You happy? Then be fucking happy. I'm happy that you're happy. Like, it's never going to be a point in time where, you know, we're ragging on each other and bagging on each other and calling people out on shit. Like, we call each other out on serious shit. Like, if you ask me for advice and I give it to you, it's up to you to take it. It's up to you to apply it where it needs to be applied, or it's up to you to just ignore it. Like, nobody knows your life like you do, and the people who you allow in your life, they should understand what role they play in your life. Because I could have an argument with my man today and call somebody and be like, I'm fucking done, he ain't shit, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, tomorrow it was a misunderstanding, or I was in a manic state because I was just so upset that I really didn't see, you know, the real issue, or I didn't understand, I didn't process something he said to me, he didn't mean it that way, whatever the case may be. And then, you know, I call my girls up and I'm like, yo, forget that shit, scratch that shit, it didn't happen, we're good. And all of them will be like, good, I'm glad. You know, like, those are the type of people that you want in your corner. And it's really, really important to have those people because, you know, you don't want to feel like you're alone and everything. You know, like, some friends you could tell something to, some friends you tell somebody else, you know, you tell them something different, but not in the same sense. Like, I have friends that I will only share certain things with, but then I have other friends who, they know me front and back and everything in between. You know, like, it's all about who you decide is important enough to really, you know, share your life and your business with. And that goes, you know, for relationships as well. Like, it took me a really, really long time to find the person that I'm with now. And I can honestly say that, you know, like, this is it for me. This is where I want to be. This is who I want to be with. This is who I want to be while I'm with this person. And I think it takes a lot of growth and a lot of knowing your own faults and knowing how to, you know, make them better. You know, everybody has a fault, everybody has flaws, but, like, you find that one person who loves you enough that they're willing to either help you change, they're not trying to change you, they see that you want to change and they help, or they love you as is, even if you're psychotic like me, you know, like, it's really, really important to find those people and to hold on tight to them and, you know, let them know that they're loved as much as, you know, they let you know you're loved. And but yeah, so patience is a virtue, as they say. I never really understood what that phrase meant because I've never been a patient person. I always want instant gratification. I don't necessarily want to wait for things, but when you do wait, things fall into their place at the right time. So I could have blacked out. I could have, you know, laid hands on this female and probably went to jail because, you know, she's the type of person to call police. But I didn't. I waited. I waited for my soul and my ancestors and everybody I prayed on to let me know when the time was right. And when it was right, it worked. And now she's, you know, like I said, not living her best life. You know, whatever. But you know, I didn't wish danger on her. Like, I didn't wish she would die. You know, none of that stuff. I just you know, I wanted her to feel the pain that she put a lot of people through, and I wanted her to recognize the state our friendship was in at one point, and I wanted her to know that it's not okay what she did, and I was not the one to really fuck with, because unlike her, I'm in this, you know, like, I'm not doing it because it's not a fad to me. It's not, you know, I'm not doing it for clout, whatever the fuck, you know, like, this is me, this is who I've been for probably, I want to say, the last decade of my life, you know, and I hold my work very true and dear to my heart, and I needed her to feel that, you know, I wasn't trying to fit in with people, or, you know, I do all of my own work. I don't ask for handouts. I don't ask for, you know, other people to do things for me. Like, I figure it out I'm a big believer in reading. You should always be reading. You should always be learning. Your brain has the capacity to understand and hold things that you never thought you never thought you could. You could read something today, and 3 years from now, somebody's having a conversation and you remember that exact moment when you read it in a book, and now you can be involved in the conversation, and now maybe you have a new friend. You never know. But yeah, patience is very important in spell work. It's very important in life. Very important in relationships, whether it be coworkers, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, or other. It's just very, very important. And it's something that we should be taught when we're a lot younger. And I feel like now, we're always teaching our kids, to be patient, just give me a minute, give me a minute, be patient, be patient. But they're not really absorbing that. They don't really know what that means. And then they don't really apply it in their adult life. And I think we should be having these conversations and teaching people that being patient is not giving up. Because I felt like I gave up on, my mission and what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to, make her hurt like me. And I believe in all sorts of, different types of magic. Like, that's whatever, what is it, the rule of three bullshit? I don't believe in that. I believe if you've wronged me, I'm going to get you back, and that's it. And then everything's right in the world. But, that's just me. And now I'm kind of just rambling because I'm fighting this melatonin pill that I took, and I'm really, really tired. I've had a migraine all day, and now I'm staring into this ring light. So, yeah. First solo video. In my secret place, my favorite place in my house, my bed. Got my jammies on. Yeah, probably gonna go to sleep. Gotta get the kids up in the morning and do school. So, yeah. Maybe not this weekend, maybe next weekend. I think me and Duso probably hook up and do another collab video for the channel. Not really sure, she's got her things, I got mine. But yeah. I guess I'll drop my socials. You could follow me on Instagram. My business page is at Wix for Witches on Instagram and Facebook. And Instagram, my personal Instagram itself is crazy, KRAZE _F_BABIIE _woke, WOKE. Yeah, I, post shit about my everyday life. Whatever, if you want to be my friend, you want to get to know me, you could go follow me on there and see what I do on a daily. But yeah, that's pretty much it. 20-minute first solo video. Pretty good time for me, I guess. I'm gonna try to upload a lot more stuff, but like I said, I'm home with my kids. I'm a single mom. I got a lot going on. My other job will actually be away in Alabama for 3 weeks, I think it's 21 days. So yeah, we won't see much from me, but other than that, hit me up. Let's be friends. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. See ya.